Alright, 10.1, number 7. Instructions: find the points at which the tangent to the curve is horizontal and vertical. So it's parametrically defined, so we could have multiple spots for these. So if we have, we want to know the derivative, that's dy dx, that's the same as dy dt over dx dt. So our dy dt here is just cosine t, and our dx dt is negative sine t. So that's our dy dx. Alright, so to answer the question A, where is it horizontal? If we have a horizontal tangent, that means, you know, if we have a curve like this, we have a horizontal tangent, that means the derivative is 0. Well, the derivative is 0 whenever the top is 0. So whenever cosine of t is equal to 0, that will give us when our tangents are horizontal. So when is cosine equal to 0 on the unit circle? Cosine of 0 is the x value. It happens right up here, happens right over down there. So from 0 to 2 pi, it happens at pi over 2 and at 3 pi over 2. That's when cosine is 0. Well, those are still not, those are time, but they aren't ordered pairs on the graph when it occurs. So if I wanted to find the ordered pair, we plug pi over 2 into x and y. So the first, for horizontal, the first horizontal tangent would be at cosine of pi over 2, that's 0. So 2, comma, plugging in pi over 2 here, sine of pi over 2 is 1, negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So our first horizontal occurs at 2 comma 0. Let's plug in 3 pi over 2. Cosine of 3 pi over 2 is 0. Plug 3 pi over 2 into the y to find out the y value there. Sine of 3 pi over 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. So our horizontal tangents occur at 2, 0 and 2, negative 0. Alright, so for vertical, if we want to know where it's vertical, that means the slope is undefined or the bottom is 0. Okay, so B says, where is there vertical? That'll be where the bottom is 0. So for vertical tangent, we want the bottom to be 0, so that's a negative sine t. So negative sine of t equals 0. From 0 to 2 pi, well, it happens at 0, it happens at pi, and then 2 pi, and so on. So the first 2 times it happens is at 0 and 2 pi. So if I plug in 0 into x and y and pi into x and y, I will have my ordered pairs. Plugging in 0 into x, I get cosine of 0, which is 1 plus 2 is 3, comma, plug 0 into the y, I get negative 1 plus 0 is negative 1. And the other vertical tangent happens at t equals to pi. These are t equals. So plug in pi into my x parametric, I get cosine of pi, which is negative 1 plus 2 is 1, comma, plug pi in here, sine of pi is 0, negative 1 plus 0 is negative 1. So my vertical tangents occur at those 2 points. Now we can kind of confirm that. Go to parametric mode, and you can type in your equations, your x and your y equation, and here's what we think our horizontal and verticals are, where they happen. If you hit graph and I zoomed in a little bit, you can see I have a horizontal at 2, 0 and 2, negative 0. So right there at 2, 0 and 2, negative 2 is right down here. Those are horizontal tangents, and our math said that our verticals are going to appear at 3, negative 1 and 1, negative 1. So 1, negative 1's right here, that's a vertical tangent, and 3, negative 1's right there, that's another vertical tangent. So those are your answers for your horizontal and vertical tangents.